Was the Nile really turned to blood? In Exodus, chapter 7, verses 14 to 25, the first of the 10 plagues that God sent upon Egypt was the turning of the Nile River into blood. The story begins when God commanded Moses and Aaron to go to Pharaoh and demand that he let the Israelites go free. Pharaoh refused, and so, at God's command, Aaron stretched out his rod over the waters of Egypt, and the river, along with all the water in the land, turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river. Exodus chapter 7, verse 21. This miraculous event caused devastation. The water in the Nile, which was the lifeblood of Egypt, became undrinkable, and all the fish in the river died, creating a foul stench throughout the land. The Egyptian magicians attempted to replicate the plague, but could not, further demonstrating the power of God's intervention. Despite this clear sign, Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he refused to release the Israelites. This act was just the beginning of a series of plagues that demonstrated God's power over Egypt and their false gods. The story of the Nile turning to blood signifies the severity of God's judgment on Pharaoh and Egypt's stubbornness. It emphasizes the power of God to control nature and calls for obedience to his commands. Ultimately, this plague was part of a greater purpose, to bring Israel out of bondage and demonstrate God's sovereignty over all the earth.